What's up, everybody? Welcome to Keep It a BENJY, and that's how we gonna keep it. Recently, Blueface was released from prison, and already it's some problems that's taking place. And it's all domestic, between him, his mom, and both of his children's mothers. And Blueface's mom has a lot to say about that. So I'm gonna run the clip of Blueface mom speaking to the whole chaos that took place on Blueface first gathering since he been home as a family. And then I'm gonna get back with y'all and let y'all know how I feel about what Blueface mom has to say.
My hair today and trying to be extra friendly so you could get Journey on camera so Jaidyn can come up there and destroy the grandkids' whole moment with their dad after 2 years. You would do that? You would do that? She attacked my security guards on camera, federal agents. She attacked the security guards on camera. It's on camera. She attacked the security guards. Jonathan is caught in the middle of the worst experience of his life, y'all. Y'all need to pray for him because he is really trying to do the right thing, and people is playing internet games and don't really give a fuck about their kids. That baby is somewhere. She drove off and left that baby. It wasn't no car seat, no nothing. She drove off and left that baby at Mount Tasia trying to follow my son. Jonathan daddy don't got no diapers. He ain't got no food. He don't know what the to do. Y'all need to start holding people accountable. This is not funny no more. This is not a game no more. And that was the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life. And y'all watched her put that woman's baby on camera, knowing that Jaidyn don't play about her kids. Why would that girl put that girl's kids on the camera and ruin their whole day? So now Jaidyn picks her kids up, and they not with their dad right now. But she got what she wanted, and that's okay. That's okay. John needs to spend a lot of time with her kid too, but that's okay. I pray that that's my son's son, because that what happened today was the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life. It was the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life. And my son is literally just caught in the middle, and I'm just watching him like, Mom, I don't know what the to do. She attacking the security trying to fight back. He telling the security don't hurt her. He asking her to get the baby and just go home. She like, I'm gonna do something to this car and do that to the car if you leave here. It is such a sad. You couldn't just pull up. We already was videoing. We've been planning to video this forever. You didn't have to go live and show Jaidyn's kids. You didn't have to do that. She did not have to do that. And that's what made me say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to work with you no more. And I told that security guard, press charges. Press charges on her for scratching you and biting you under the camera at the place. That was the evilest shit I've ever seen anybody do on somebody's first day out, and I done seen some evil shit. And I'm gonna go home and pray for my son, but he looked so lost. Jonathan looked literally lost, didn't he? Like he didn't know what the to do. He didn't know what the to do. He trying to be there and play with all the kids. All you had to do was chill out and sit down. You know he got a woman already. All you had to do was let him spend the day with all 3 of the kids. You didn't have to put Jaidyn's kids on there. There was no reason to put Jaidyn's kids on your live, trying to be funny so she'll pull up and ruin her kid's day. Y'all need to start holding people accountable, because jumping on that security guard just told me what type of time she's on. And I have the whole thing on camera. And I'm going to play the whole thing on my Patreon so that y'all all y'all fans that think that shit is cute.
Okay, y'all heard her. And she threw a word out there multiple times that I feel like we do need to really emphasize. And that's accountability. She kept using the word accountability. However, I feel like she is not holding her son accountable. Let's keep it a BENJY. She's saying things like Blueface is caught in the middle of something. You know, she's saying she's very mad at Chrisean Rock posting Jaidyn's son on the camera, knowing that that will tick Jaidyn off and, you know, ruin this whole special moment, right? And I also want to say she has certain things to say pertaining to Jaidyn. Like, I think she was upset with Jaidyn a little bit, and I think she was much more upset with the actions that Chrisean Rock took place with, right? Y'all could correct me in the comments. But I feel like the main person who need to take accountability is Blueface. The whole situation belongs to Blueface. He's not like caught up in the middle of something that he did not create. He's constantly putting himself in the middle of this situation, because I don't understand why do Chrisean Rock or even Jaidyn have to be present when Blueface is doing this whole special moment between him and his kids. Why not just let that be the gathering? I don't get it. But by now, we all know that Chrisean Rock is a loose cannon, a live wire, almost unpredictable, right? But I can say we almost can predict that things will go chaotic with Chrisean Rock engaging with something that she's not happy with. So if we all can gather that from being viewers, I'm sure Blueface knew that it was a strong chance that things was gonna probably go left, right? Blueface should control Chrisean Rock, or control Jaidyn, or control both. Because for the most part, it's like it's his situation. Shout out to Blueface for making it home from that situation. A lot of people don't make it home from it. And a lot of people don't make it home from that situation without no bad things associated with them, which I haven't heard pertaining to Blueface. So I'm going to give him his credit on that. Blueface might be on some intelligent type of thinking. He probably knows that a lot of his clout is gathered by chaos. And maybe Blueface knew to create that situation because it was going to have him and his team, his system, you know, his whole program back in the headlines. It's almost like they picked up where they left off at. It could be a well-calculated decision for Blueface to say, hey, I'm going to do all this. And I know it's probably going to go hectic. But when it comes to this content space, it would be beneficial. I mean, he is a person who kind of comes up under Whack 100's campaign. So we all know how genius Whack is when it comes to content. You know, you might not have to agree with things he do or what he say, but when it comes to the content rim of things, he seems to know how to have that, you know, got that down pat. So maybe that's what it is. And even Blueface mom can take accountability as well, because it's your job to raise your kids to the best way you can. Not to say that she failed as a parent, but maybe she could have gave some good advice on even letting her son create this situation at this, you know, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all know what they was doing and where they was at. But that's just my take on it. You know what I mean? I feel like Blueface has to control the situation because it's his situation. Not saying that Jaidyn don't need to act the best way she can for herself and those who raised her, and also those that she's raising, her kids. And I feel the same way for Chrisean Rock. But when it's all said and done, to a person like Blueface mom, who's more directly connected to Blueface, and we talk about accountability, you have to control the things that's in your control. Not to say that she controls Blueface, but I'm sure she definitely has more of a, control, or more of a say-so, or more of a involvement when it comes to Blueface than it does for the two ladies. So that's my take on it. You know what I mean? Got to make the best decisions when you are the person who's in the middle of a situation, or when you are the person who's kind of like spearheading the situation. I think Blueface is a little excited though. I think he gets a lot of excitement off of some of these things with the ladies going crazy and all that stuff. He's probably in that type of space in life right now. A lot of people don't went through it. Girls, men, however you feel, they go through situations to where they just feel excited about all this drama and chaos, or whatever things that come up with the whole, boyfriend, girlfriend type concepts, or whatever. Y'all get it. And I also feel like she was kind of being a little extra though when she was saying that Blueface is just lost, don't have no idea what to do, and he's going through the worst thing he ever went through. That sounds kind of terrible, because regardless of the fact, it is an unfortunate situation for those who want to have that whole situation operate on peace and smoothness. However, it don't take away the fact from, and of course for the kids, that's definitely unfortunate for the kids. But Blueface has 100 tattoos on his face that's related to the game. Blueface went to prison, county jail. Whether he participated in certain things, he definitely, something caught his attention. That was something that could be deemed very tremendous or unpleasant for the average civilian. Blueface do fancy himself as a gangbanger, gang member. Blueface almost was just fighting for like his life in prison. Y'all could correct me in the comments, but if I'm not mistaken, Blueface then came on top in about 2 encounters where allegedly Blueface was firing a firearm at somebody. Allegedly, that's what took place. And I think that transpired to him. When you get a case based upon firing a firearm, it's always a strong chance that you can be doing a long stretch. You might not necessarily get life, but you can almost get something close to it. So in my opinion, him even just going to court every other week, month, whatever, even just getting the cuffs slapped on him, I'm sure that was some real unfortunate type, worst type moments Blueface have ever experienced. Excuse me for spitting. But we gonna wrap it up, man. Shout out to Blueface mom. She definitely is a big part of their team on keeping them in the headlines. Whether we agree with her or not, they seem to be having this tribe to where they tribe knows how to keep themselves in a topic of discussion with this content space. So sometimes, even if we disagree with certain things, we do have to look at it for where it might actually be serving a good purpose in another category. Shout out to Blueface mom, no disrespect. Shout out to Blueface, Chrisean Rock, and Jaidyn. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts on the whole situation, and keep it a BENJY for me in the comments. I'm out.